everybody, and welcome back to 15 Good Minutes. It's your guy, Coach B here, and we got the new crew. We got the team, JR, Freddie. How you guys doing today?
What's going on, man? Everything's
good. To you? How you doing, JR? How you doing, Rusty?
Doing great. And for our 15 Good Minutes audience, this is the first episode of season 6. We want to start it off by, giving a big thanks to our hosts for the first 5 seasons, to Shy and Kirk. Thank you for everything you guys brought to the platform, for everything you did to elevate us to this level. It's my hope that we do you guys proud, because you were wonderful for the 5 and 6 years that you were here on 15 Good Minutes. The shift that we're making, if you want to call it a shift, is, you got 3 guys now, and we're talking about, sports talk, opinions, and stuff. Anything goes. We're going to try to keep it to 15 minutes every week and just get it in. I think what I'm going to do to kind of get us going here, because we got some new audience members, and clearly we got 2 new staffers. I'm going to ask you guys, tell me a little bit about yourself so the audience learns something about you today that they didn't know before we got started. Freddie, let's start with you.
Good evening, everyone. Freddie, I'm just an avid sports lover. Rusty and I met in 2006. 2007, we worked together. I coached football. He coached basketball. He gave me a lot of good pointers regarding coaching, even though we didn't coach the same game, but how to interact with young players, because he was doing it longer than I had. And, we just built up a friendship and a relationship. We both love UNC basketball. Recently just moved to Dallas, Texas. I've thought about, getting back into the coaching game, but I think I'm officially retired for real. And so I'm interested in this opportunity. I'm grateful for this opportunity, because I'm not anywhere on social media. I hate social media, to be honest with you, but I think I'm going to have to get into it eventually.
Yes, sir.
So we go from there.
Welcome, man. Glad to have you on the team. And like you said, Freddie's been a good friend of mine for a number of years, and you're not going to find a kinder guy and somebody who's really, as we get through this thing and we talk about opinions and stuff, I don't know a more opinionated sports person. Y'all should have heard the conversation last week that the 3 of us had. So, JR, welcome to the team, man. Tell us something about yourself.
Hey, I'm JR Mason, and I know Rusty now for about 30 years or so.
40, man. 40.
Yeah, 40 years. Okay. We go back a long way, military days. We coached together in basketball at Largo and Oxon Hill High School. And he retired a couple years ago, and I had to retire after COVID for a while. So maybe I'll go back if things get better. We'll see. Anyway, I'm an avid sports fan. I love baseball, follow basketball, a good deal, and football. Believe it or not, some hockey.
All right. Yeah, that's true. He's going to be the resident hockey expert for those of you who don't know. So again, guys, thanks and welcome. Let's get it going and see what we got going for this week. To your point, JR, let's start off with that. Baseball strike continues, I think. And just so you guys, so the audience understands, we record on Tuesdays. This gets released on Friday. So as of tonight, Major League Baseball just announced that they canceled another week of games. Yes. You guys got any thoughts on where we are with the strike?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I may be done for this season. I have to pay for my programming of baseball, so I buy the game package. But I'm not gonna probably buy it this year, because I'm fed up with that.
Got you, Freddie. You're a baseball guy, and whether you are or you aren't, what are your thoughts on the strike?
I love baseball, but I think the sport, it has already, as we have talked before, they called it America's pastime. I don't know who, but who would call it America's pastime, but it really isn't. Maybe back in the 40s, 50s, maybe 60s, maybe. In this day and age, it's no longer America's pastime. It's football, and now I think basketball is slowly creeping up. But I think it's definitely bad for the game, with the players and the owners. And I think it's for a sport that's already struggling to reach a fan base. And, I honestly don't even know what the hell they're striking about other than, I want this, we want that, and it's just really bad and unfortunate for the game. When the reality of it is, baseball contracts out of the three major sports in the US, they have the best contracts. They have the best. Basketball is up there, but when you look at overall sheer numbers, baseball players, are compensated fairly well. And it's just an unfortunate event for the players, the owners, the fans that's going to go and pay $18 for a hot dog, $7.50 for a cup of ice, or what have you. It's just very bad. And I think if they don't get this together soon, it's gonna take the game to a even lower level.
Yeah, I would say that it's you said you used unfortunate. I'll say unnecessary only because they had all off season to work this out. My challenge is that they waited to February to get serious, and they want us, the common fan, to understand that. I don't understand it. I feel really bad for the single and double A players, as well as all the people whose livelihoods depend on that activity, from the stadium workers to the grounds crew to all those folks like that. Now, the Players Association put a fund together, so that now they're actually paying some of those salaries, and now some of the owners are getting in on that as well. But I think you're right. You're going to lose the fan. I don't, the casual fan's probably already gone. Serious fan like us, they're in jeopardy of losing us. So I hope they get it straight soon. But this week to week, telling us that they've canceled, another set of games, I think is unacceptable. And I hold both sides accountable.
And I think also these breaks they take, when they break, they break. They take 3-4 hour breaks. Y'all can be figuring it out
if they really wanted to, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, you got to go have lunch and
cater it, man. Bring it in, close the door, get it done.
Yeah, and talk to Snooki and whoever else, I think, to be honest with you, these guys, they actually, on both sides, players and owners, I think they actually believe that they're doing the jobs of regular citizens. I think they actually think that they're actually working hard. They don't. You actually play a sport for a living and make millions of dollars doing it. The only thing you have to do is not get arrested and keep your body in optimal shape.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I would, with the exception of, I do think they work hard. I think they work very hard, and that is their craft. Definitely. It's definitely a game, but again, for what you make, there's no excuse. Speaking of money and what people make, pivoting to the NFL, Aaron Rodgers gets a new deal. I'll just start by saying, I am not an Aaron Rodgers fan, not a hater at all. I think he plays too many games, and I don't mean football.
He shouldn't have been MVP.
Yeah,
who should have been MVP, JR?
I forgot it slipped my mind, but I'll come back to it.
Yeah, I'm of the mindset that it's Aaron Rodgers. Let me turn it over to you guys. He got the payday that he wanted. Green Bay's all in. Quick thoughts on Aaron's payday?
Yeah, the young man from Cleveland, your quarterback,
Mayfield. You talking about Cincinnati?
Cincinnati. Okay. I thought he did a heck of a job bringing those guys all the way that he did. Now they didn't win it all, but he was he played some good ball this year.
Burrows.
It was Burrows, yeah.
I personally, I'm not an Aaron Rodgers fan. I'm not a hater of Aaron Rodgers. I personally feel, from the player perspective, I think that he was being very selfish.
I would agree with that.
$200 million. Right? I get it. 4 years, $200 million. But I guess you look at, Pat Mahomes signed, 10 years, $450. So, but I look at it from a standpoint that now you have literally, and we have to see how the contract is actually structured. He had $153 million guaranteed, obviously you can manipulate the cap and, okay, his salary is 26 million. If we need a little bit more money, we can kind of, modify it and make, give you more bonus money, but I think it was very selfish of him because he knew damn well last year.
Well, he was selfish in more than one way.
He knew what he wanted last year. He knew what he wanted last year, and now you're hurting the team because you're not going to be able to sign. Now I'm looking at Devontae Adams. Devontae's sitting back. All right, what about me? Now they just put the franchise tag on me. Devontae is probably looking at 5 years, maybe 100. I think Devontae should get 5 years, probably 110. That is. But now, okay, you got that, and so what if you do pull that off? But then you're gonna be delinquent or have a shortfall in other areas, whether it be left tackle, right tackle, the secondary, linebackers, wherever the case may be. So Aaron Rodgers, my thing is, and this is me, because you've made enough money, and maybe this is just my perspective. You've made enough money to where you're good. You don't need $200 million for the next 4 years.
Listen. That if we were going down the road to talk about need, that would be a whole different conversation, and it would take a hell of a lot longer than 15 minutes.
But
thank you,
you
sir.
know what? Though, in saying that, though, I could see what you're saying, because if they don't have enough people to protect him, he doesn't become MVP anymore because he's going to get crushed.
Right.
So they've got to have money to pay for the offensive line.
Totally.
Again, let me make this clear. I'm not opposed to him getting paid and what have you, but I guess the structure of the contract is not really defined yet. But you still have other pieces that you need to shore up. Zaire,
I don't think that's his concern, though. I mean, when you say that has to be shored up is organizational. I'm just more interested in the fact that, he stays with Green Bay. He got the payday that he wanted. In some regards, I think he did hold his team hostage. I think he's okay with that.
Not to mention, it's kind of like he really has made Green Bay say, we made a mistake with drafting Jordan Love. Because now Jordan Love, he's trade bait. He can sit back and say,
if I'm him, I would leave too. Yep.
I'll tell you though, mistake. Those boo birds come out when you do what he did though. So
he did play bad against Kansas City when he played. He did play. He was bad. He was bad.
This is a really big weekend for everybody. Obviously, Selection Sunday is right around the corner. I think this is an exciting time. As if you're any fan of college basketball, and if you've been watching these conference tournaments and the play of this week and leading up to it, I hope everybody really can take some time and weigh in on what they think. The conference tournaments, to me, Freddie, some just as good at basketball as we're going to see after Selection Sunday.
Definitely.
I want to say, again, this was our inaugural episode. You can find us everywhere. Right. We are back on YouTube, by the way. So please stop by, because sometimes when you hear these voices, you want to know what was that person look like that just made that bold statement. And you can look right at JR and say, oh, that's what JR looked like. We are on YouTube at youtube.com/15 good minutes. Please follow us on Twitter, twitter.com at 15 good minutes as well. And on all of your favorite podcast platforms. So we're on YouTube and we're a podcast. One of the things that I'm going to put out to the fellas and see if they have a 1 or 2 word thought is going to be on the question of the week. So as we end our shows every week, we want to give you guys a question of the week. What do you guys, without giving your whole answer, I'm going to put the question out. We want you to hit us up on Twitter or on YouTube. This week, Calvin Ridley was suspended for gambling. Isn't that what it was, JR? And it was
yes, it was.
I think he bet $1,500. And to your point, Freddie, he wasn't playing at the time, correct?
Right.
So he wasn't playing at the time, but he bet on what's known as a parlay, a small amount of money for a guy who makes $1 gazillion. So we would like to know what you guys think about his betting on his sport, how much he bet, and was that $1,500, worth not getting $11 million for 2022? Why or why not? Real quick, JR, are you for it or against it?
I'm against him not being able to being penalized so heavily.
So let's leave it with that. JR says he should be able to bet on his own sport. We will definitely re-engage that once we see some comments. Freddie, is it okay for him to bet on his own sport?
I have a 2-part answer to that. The first question is to him betting. Why? Why did you just have someone else do it for you? The second answer is a year. Yes, I'm okay with that.
Fair enough. I'm going to withhold my opinion too. We get our opinions back from our audience. Again, this is our first episode on the season 6. Thanks so much for being with us. Once again, thanks to my nephew, Kurt, and to Shy. This is actually the first show we've done in 6 years that Shy was not a part of. That's how big she was for our program. To Freddie and JR, I'm glad you guys are on board. We're going to have a lot of fun this year. Remember, it's not just about sports talk. It's going to be opinions and stuff. We look forward to seeing everybody again next week. Thanks. We'll see you then.
Peace.